I'm going to call to order the May 12th, 2026 regular meeting of the Board of Education per Government Code Sections 54950 at Sequitur and Education Code Section 35140 at Sequitur at the District Education Center, 1301 East Orange Thorpe Avenue, Placentia at 5:31 p.m. We will adjourn to closed session for the purpose of discussing the following matters. Public employee discipline, dismissal, suspension, release, leave, assignment, non-reelection, non-reappointment, resignation, reinstatement pursuant to Government Code 54957. 3.2, personnel matters, public employee appointments, employment pursuant to Government Code Section 54957. I have to get some water before we come back. 3.3, conference with labor negotiators, Dr. Kim LeBlanc Esparza, Superintendent, Dr. John Papalardo, Chief Business Officer, Chad Mago, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources for CSEA, APLE, and PLUM. 3.14, claim number 667021. 3.5, special education settlement agreement for student identification number 1766. Is there anyone? I'm seeing none for public comment on closed session, so we'll adjourn. Seeing none. Hiding back there. Come on, come up. So we're going to adjourn to closed session at 5:32. All right, welcome to our board meeting this evening. It looks so great to see everybody sitting out there. We're looking forward to all of our recognitions coming up soon. Okay, so we're reconvening to out of closed session to regular session at 6:32 p.m. And our report out of closed session, the board took action to approve the special education settlement agreement with student identification number 1766 for $60,000. Motion from Mrs. Anderson, second by Mrs. Quintero, and the motion carried 5-0. All right, Mr. Frazier, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Thank you. Now let the record show that all board members are present, including our student board member. Hello, Simran. All right, so take a motion for approval of our minutes or our agenda as amended.
So moved.
I'll second.
First by Mrs. Blade, second by Mrs. Anderson. Any comments? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries 5-0 and a +1. Okay, I'll read our public comment announcement, and so if you need a public comment or a public comment card, they're available in the foyer. Cards must be completed and turned in prior to the designated time for public comment, and we'll provide a maximum of 3 minutes per person, and if you need translation, we can provide an additional 3 minutes. But be sure to let us know ahead of time so we can plan for that. We have a civility policy. Education Code 220 prohibits discrimination on the basis of disability, gender identity, gender expression, nationality, race or ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, or any other characteristic that is contained in the definition of hate crime set forth in Section 422.55 of the Penal Code, including immigration status. Additionally, if there are any disruptions or interference of the board's ability to conduct its meeting, the disruptive parties will be given one warning. If the disruption continues, you'll be informed that the board president has found you in disruption in violation of Penal Code Section 403, Education Code Section 32210, and the board president will order you removed from the meeting under Government Code Sections 54957.9 and 54957.95. If removing one or several disruptive parties does not restore order, the board president will exercise their authority to clear the room in accordance with Government Code Section 54957.9. Okay. That out of the way, now we'll move on to minutes, and I'll need a motion to approve the minutes of our regular meeting of April 14th.
So moved. Second.
Okay, motion by Mrs. Anderson, second by Mrs. Quintero. Any comments or changes? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, motion carries 5-0 +1. And next for the minutes of April 28th.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular meeting of April 28, 2026.
I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Blades first and second by Mrs. Anderson. Any comments, changes? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
And then, is there an abstention? Do you want to abstain?
He wasn't there. He can't vote.
So we can't vote even with an abstention? No. Okay, 4-0. Okay, +1.
Oh,
okay.
she can't vote either.
She wasn't here either. Okay, 4-0 on that meeting. Okay, recognition. So now, Dr. Kim, I'll turn it over to you.
Great. It is awesome to see so many of our students and staff here this evening. We're going to start with Esperanza High School Wrestling CIF champs. Thank you guys for being here this evening. I know that Dr. Holloway is going to talk through some of the accomplishments of this group, but I want to start out by saying congratulations. Thank you for your hard work representing your school well and representing PYL. We're proud of you. Dr. Holloway?
Good evening, President Buck, trustees, Superintendent Dr. Kim, and Executive Cabinet members. Tonight it is my pleasure to recognize the Esperanza High School wrestling team for an extraordinary and historic season. At this time, I would like to invite the Aztecs and their coaches to please come forward and join us up front. So this season, Esperanza Wrestling delivered an exceptional performance at the CIF Southern Section Masters Championships with both the boys and girls programs, showcasing the strength, depth, and competitive excellence of Aztec wrestling. The boys team earned an impressive second place overall finish, firmly establishing itself among California's elite wrestling programs. The Aztecs were led by an outstanding group of student athletes who captured top finishes at the CIF Championship, Masters, and state levels through determination, discipline, and dominant performances throughout the season. As I call your name, please raise your hand or step forward if you can. Brody Aguilar, 7th at CIF. Gabriel, we're going to hold our applause till the end. Gabriel Berrigan, 1st at CIF, 6th at state. Douglas Barrientos. Marcelo Calavita, 1st at CIF. Mateo Centeno, 1st at CIF, 8th at state. Ben Esparza. Ace Esparza. Micah Garcia. Chase Gardner. Matthew Garibay. Angel Garibay. Michael Gomez. Joseph Guardado, 3rd at CIF, 8th at state. Diego Guerrero. Uriah Holiday. James Holiday, 2nd at CIF. Jude Holiday, 2nd at CIF. Dylan Loza. Landon Marquez. Aaron Mesa, 1st at CIF, 8th at state. Dimitri Molina, 1st at CIF, 6th at state. Max Murillo, 1st at CIF, 2nd at state. James Ruiz, 1st at CIF. Samuel Sanchez, 1st at CIF, 2nd at state. And Gio Suarez, 1st at CIF. On the girls' side, Esperanza placed 12th overall with an incredibly competitive field and qualified 2 wrestlers for the state championships. As I call your names, please raise your hand or step forward. Jadis Brady, 4th at CIF. Sammy Cornejo, 2nd at CIF, 6th at state. Olivia Duran. Samara Gaffino Veda. Sarah Gonzalez. Sophia Miranda. Olivia Valenzuela. Bethany Villalobos, and Callie Zarate. Additionally, Coach Christian Holiday was named Coach of the Year. Congrats to Coach Holiday, and congrats to all of our wrestlers. Let's give them a quick round of applause. They competed in one of the most demanding tournaments in California. Esperanza Wrestling rose to the challenge through a complete team effort. From championship victories to hard-fought matches through the consolation rounds, the Aztecs demonstrated resilience, determination, sportsmanship, and excellence at every level. Congratulations to all of our wrestlers and coaching staff on an incredible season, outstanding CIF performance. We're also proud to recognize Esperanza High School Principal, Mrs. Kelly Molina, who joins us tonight in supporting these outstanding students. Ms. Molina, you can wave. So one last congratulations to our Esperanza Aztecs on an unforgettable season. You've made Esperanza High School and PYL USD incredibly proud. On behalf of the Board of Education, we have certificates of achievement for all of you, and we invite you to greet our board members and take a photo.
Before you do that, if I could just cut in, because you're all grouped nicely together, if you'll stay there, we'll pop behind you for a photo, and then you can come around this way. That work? Okay. All right, can we give them one more round of applause, please? Nice work. We're really proud of you. Okay, next we have another celebration, and I'll pass it over to you, Dr. Kim.
Thank you. Our second celebration, we are honoring our Reach Foundation first LEGO League champions. Thank you all for being with us this evening. This team is called Control Alt Delete. And not only did they have a very impressive run, but capped off with a first place robot design. There were over 35,000 teams worldwide that they competed against, and this team took first. So congratulations. There is a considerable amount to their journey. I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Liz Leon to talk about our Control-Alt-Delete team.
Thank you, Dr. Kim. We are so proud to recognize the Reach Foundation First LEGO League Robotics team, who has brought distinction to PYL-USD through outstanding performances at both the regional and international levels. At this time, I would like to invite the Control-Alt-Elite and Fire Sharks teams, along with their coaches, to please come forward and join me at the lectern. The Reach Foundation's first LEGO League program currently serves students from 8 schools across PYL-USD, creating a collaborative STEM-focused learning environment that brings together young innovators from throughout the district. The program is supported by approximately 10 dedicated volunteer coaches who generously invest their time and expertise into developing the next generation of leaders, engineers, and problem solvers. The Fire Sparks, composed entirely of students from Travis Ranch School, earned remarkable success throughout the season. Competing among 24 teams at Warner Middle School, they captured the prestigious Champions Trophy, awarded to the top overall team demonstrating excellence across all 4 judging categories: Innovation Project, Robot Design, Robot Game, and Core Values. The team achieved the highest cumulative score of the tournament. The Fire Sparks also earned the highest respected Core Values Award, recognizing exceptional teamwork, inclusion, resilience, and gracious professionalism, qualities that First LEGO League considers foundational to both engineering and leadership. In addition, the team finished 5th overall, securing an invitation to the Ontario, Canada World Invitational. Yes, and elite international competition featuring top teams from 66 countries around the world. Throughout the competition season, the Fire Sparks consistently demonstrated perseverance, collaboration, and innovation while overcoming complex challenges together. Judges recognized not only their technical skill, but also their character and teamwork that defined their success. At this time, I would like to recognize the Fire Sharks team members and coaches, and I apologize ahead of time if I mispronounce your beautiful names. Catherine Pack, Abigail Mulkey, Chloe Hibbard, Henzi Yoshida, Jonah Turin, Timothy Kilo, Bobby Prada Martinez, Coach Heather Mulkey, Coach David Hibbard, Coach Heather Hibbard. Let's give the Fire Sharks and students and coaches one more well-deserved round of applause. We're not done. Additionally, the Control-Alt-Elite team from Kramer Middle and Golden Elementary School captured the Champions Award, the highest distinction in First LEGO League. This prestigious honor recognizes teams that exemplify excellence in robot performance, robot design, Innovation Project, and Core Values. The robot achieved an outstanding 500-point performance, propelling the team to first place overall finish, an exceptional accomplishment at this level of competition. As a result of their success, Control-Alt-Elite earned a coveted invitation to their first World Championship in Houston, Texas, where they competed alongside the top First LEGO League, FTC, and FRC teams representing 90 countries around the globe. Representing both PYL-USD and Southern California on the world stage, the team earned the First Place Robot Design Award, an extraordinary achievement at the highest level of international competition. At this time, I would like to recognize the members of Control Alt Elite and their coaches. Samihan Shaligram, Avanish, oh, I'm so sorry, did I say beautiful. Avanish Nangir, Ian Yoon, Zain On, Max Mills, Raghav Dioger? Yes. Okay, so sorry. Derek Liu, Austin Liu, Coach Madura Shaligram, Coach Marianne. We are also pleased to recognize Reach Foundation President Giselle Nguyen. Come on up. Who joins us tonight in support, as well as we are also very proud to recognize Kramer Middle School Principal Matt Calloway, who joins us in support. Where are you, Matt? There you are. Congratulations to the Control Alt Elite and Fire Shark teams on an incredible season. Your achievements, innovation, and teamwork have made the entire PYL USD community incredibly proud. On behalf of the Board of Education and the district, please accept these certificates of achievement. Let's give these remarkable students and coaches one more well-deserved round of applause. At this time, I'd like to invite the first LEGO League teams to come forward to greet the board members and join us for a group photo to commemorate this outstanding achievement.
Before you move, we're going to do a quick photo first, and then we'll do the same handshake. Dr. Kim's passing out some pins for each of you on the wrestling teams because we didn't have them here. So I wanted to make sure you all get one. If there's anybody that's missing, please take one for them. And then can we give our robotics teams another round of applause? Amazing. And that is the biggest Lego trophy I've ever seen. I'm just wondering how many pounds it weighs. And I'm going to give Dr. Kim just another minute. We have a couple of other things to celebrate tonight. Those of you on the robotics team, if there is a team member that was missing, please make sure that we get you a couple of pens to take with you to make sure they get one as well. All right, Dr. Kim, I'll pass it over to you for the next round of celebrations.
Awesome, this is fun. Our next round of celebrations is for our Project GLAD Excellence and Legacy Award. I am going to introduce Mr. Jose Cabrera to talk about our Excellence and Legacy Award winning team.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Kim. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to recognize an extraordinary accomplishment that reflects PYLUSD's continued commitment to high-quality instruction and student success for all learners. Recently, Placentia-Yorba Unified School District was honored by the Orange County Department of Education with the prestigious Project GLAD Excellence and Legacy Award. This recognition is not simply awarded for strong instructional implementation, rather it honors districts that demonstrate a sustained commitment to instructional excellence, leadership development, and systems that ensure meaningful practices continue to grow and thrive over time. At this time, I would like to invite the individuals who contributed to this leadership dedication and contributions to this important work to please come forward and join me at the lectern. Don't worry, I'll call your names in a little bit. The Excellence and Legacy Award recognizes organizations that exemplify excellence in instructional practice, strong and aligned leadership, systems that support long-term sustainability, collective ownership across all roles, and a commitment to lasting impact for students. It is at the core, this award reflects a belief that language-rich, equitable instruction is not simply an initiative, but an integral part of the district's identity and culture. PYL was recognized for embedding Project GLAD practices not only in classrooms, but throughout professional learning, leadership development, and instructional systems district-wide. Through shared ownership, continuous learning, and deep commitment to student achievement, particularly for our multilingual learners, this work has become an important part of the district's instructional foundation. This recognition also reflects the incredible dedication of our teachers, instructional leaders, administrators, and support staff who work each day to create engaging, rigorous, and inclusive learning environments for all students. So as I call your name, please raise your hand. Omar Ramon Ortiz, teacher at Glenview. Alicia Ten, teacher at Glenview. Jorge Garcia, teacher at Glenview. Mariana Vega Mondragon, teacher at Glenview. Blanca Gibbons, TK-12 ELD, teacher on special assignment. Dr. Janice Weber, principal at Melrose Elementary. Stella Campos, teacher at Melrose. Olivia Lighton, teacher at Valencia. Kelly Farrell, principal at Morse. Lynette Pirelli, teacher at Morse. And Maria Heps, instructional math coach. And we also would like to recognize a few teachers who weren't able to join us today. Vanessa Diaz at Glenview and Alejandra Valdovinos at Melrose. Please join us in congratulating these outstanding educators and leaders for helping advance excellence across PYL. We are incredibly proud of this achievement and grateful to all those who have contributed to this work on behalf of all our students and families. At this time, I invite the board members to join us for a group picture. Same as last time.
we're walking. There's a ramp right up. First grade, National Rock it was all downhill. Yeah, you're here, and then when everyone comes up, just lead them across. Chorus.
All right, let's give them one more round of applause. I keep seeing GLAD everywhere, and when I go to elementary schools, the most that I hear from teachers right now is all about GLAD, so I'm thrilled. Okay, we have one more recognition that we're thrilled with, so I'll pass it over to you, Dr. Kim.
Thank you. So we are going to recognize our Ruby Drive Elementary School Avid National Demonstration School. Congratulations, Ruby Drive. Before I hand it over to Dr. Gray, I just want to share that our Ruby Drive Elementary School team, they are the first Avid National Demonstration School at elementary in Orange County. And because of their accomplishment, we are the first district in the United States to establish a comprehensive TK through 12 neighborhood feeder pattern of national demonstration schools with Ruby Drive, Kramer Middle, and Valencia High School. So congratulations, team. Sorry, I stole some of your thunder, Dr. Gray.
Thank you, Dr. Kim. I'll ad lib. Lorelli provided me a great script, so I'll be good to go. So, tonight, it is my privilege to recognize an extraordinary achievement by Ruby Drive Elementary School and its dedicated staff. Ruby Drive Elementary was formally recognized by Advancement via Individual Determination, commonly known as AVID, as the first elementary AVID National Demonstration School in Orange County. At this time, I would like to invite Mrs. Lisa Carmona, the exceptional principal of Ruby Drive Elementary, to come forward. During the rigorous validation process, AVID representatives conducted classroom observations, stakeholder interviews, and a comprehensive review of school-wide practices and student data. The validation team concluded that Ruby Drive Elementary exemplifies the core principles of AVID at the highest level. In remarks shared with the school community, the AVID validation team noted that this recognition reflects far more than strong implementation. They emphasized that the systems, instructional practices, and high expectations required of an AVID National Demonstration School were clearly evident throughout every classroom and learning environment on campus. Ruby Drive Elementary was described as a beacon of excellence, both locally and nationally. The school was specifically recognized for its commitment to inclusive excellence through a fully mainstreamed instructional model that ensures all students are held to rigorous academic expectations. The validation team also highlighted Ruby Drive's emphasis on student agency through leadership opportunities that empower students to develop responsibility, confidence, and real-world skills. Additionally, the school's innovative approach to family engagement was recognized as a model of excellence, with student-led evening showcases that regularly have 95% family participation, transforming the campus into a true center for community partnership. Given that AVID is centered on being a continuous improvement model, the validation team also identified opportunities for continued growth, including strengthening articulation between elementary and middle school programs, and further advancing inquiry-based instruction and literacy practices in mathematics and science. This recognition is a reflection of the collective dedication, vision, and sustained efforts of the entire Ruby Drive elementary community. At this time, we are proud to recognize Principal Lisa Carmona, whose leadership has helped establish Ruby Drive as a model of school-wide excellence and equitable student achievement. And most of all, we would like to extend this recognition to the incredible teachers, staff, students, and families whose commitment and partnership made this achievement possible. Can I ask all Ruby Drive team members that are here to please stand and be recognized at the front of the room with your principal. I will say that when they saw the Lego team bring their award banner, the Ruby Drive team looked at me and they said, "We could have brought our banner." I believe it's hanging in front of the school. They had to borrow Valencia's banner on the day of the recognition, but they have their own banner. So, Lorelli, how would you like the photo to take place? Congratulations, Ruby Drive. It's a showcase. You should like tape for it. National.
Yeah. Such a fun night. Could we give them one more round of applause? And thank you all so much for being here tonight. If you would like to get going, some of you I'm sure have schoolwork to do and other activities. We'll take just a couple of seconds and we'll let you make way off to the rest of your evening, and then we'll get on with our meeting. Feel free to move to the front. You don't have to sit all the way back there.
Come on up.
Come on up. Most of them say no.
We can see everybody now.
All right, this is the best part of the end of the school year, is all of these fun celebrations and recognitions that we get to do. They're so loud out there. All right. Oh. I want my actual agenda. There. Okay, that next brings us to public hearings. Where is it that we wanted to bring the next one up? Okay. All right, perfect. Okay, so we're going to move on to public hearings for 12.1. And I'll read this out. A public hearing will be held relative to resolution number 2532, entitled Resolution for the Board of Education of Placentia-Yorba Unified School District, adoption of a fee justification study and the increase in school facility fees, and adoption of CEQA notice of exemption. I'll declare the public hearing open at 7:11. And do we have any calls for speakers for this particular item? It's just for this item, so any speakers on this? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing at 7:12. Okay, and that brings us to our student board report. And I'll pass it to you, Simran.
Good evening, President Buck, trustees, Superintendent Dr. Kim, and executive cabinet members. I'm excited to be here tonight to share recent updates from our comprehensive high schools and alternative campuses. Parkview School has successfully completed this year's remote state testing, and the school community extends its appreciations to students and families for their participation and effort throughout the assessment process. Meanwhile, Buena Vista Virtual Academy is preparing to begin state testing, with staff looking forward to supporting students as they engage in this important opportunity to demonstrate their academic growth and learning. Students visited the Bowers Museum, where they explored exhibits connected to California history, deepening their understanding through meaningful and interactive experiences. Another highlight included attending a performance of The Little Mermaid at Bridges Auditorium. The production held special significance as Parkview's performing arts students previously brought the same musical to the stage this year, creating a full circle experience that celebrated student achievement and the arts within the school community. El Camino Real High School proudly shares that senior Justina Diaz represented PWAL USD in the Association of California School Administrators Every Student Succeeding Awards program. Justina was one of 31 students across Orange County recognized for her resilience, perseverance, and success in overcoming significant life challenges. In addition, El Camino Real High School recently hosted a successful spring family night, welcoming more than 120 students and family members to campus. The school is now preparing for an exciting conclusion to the academic year with upcoming events including Future Ready Day, the school's inaugural flag football game, prom, and several celebrations honoring graduating seniors. El Dorado High School proudly recognized both the boys volleyball and boys lacrosse programs for advancing to the CIF semifinals this past weekend. The school community commended the outstanding efforts, sportsmanship, and dedication demonstrated by the student athletes and coaching staff throughout their successful seasons. In addition, El Dorado High School is preparing to celebrate the graduating class of 2026 through a series of senior activities leading up to commencement. Planned events include a senior breakfast and memory book distribution, a class trip to Knott's Berry Farm, a cap and gown senior photo opportunity, a senior pool party and barbecue, and a final graduation rehearsal. Esperanza High School is closing out the school year with a number of celebrations and student-centered events. Upcoming recognition ceremonies include the DAAR Awards on May 29th and Senior Awards Night on June 1st, both held in the school's Performing Arts Center, honoring the academic accomplishments and dedication of students throughout the year. The school community is also preparing for prom season, highlighted by a prom rally and the Wayne Manor Gala Prom on May 16th at Ovation Square. In support of students' well-being during this busy time of year, Esperanza will continue its focus on wellness through Mindfulness Week, which will include therapy puppies visiting campus to help students relax and recharge. Additional activities include the school's inaugural cardboard boat race, where students will test boats constructed entirely from cardboard in a fun lunchtime competition. The school's DLA program will also host the Youth World Cup, a 5-on-5 soccer tournament open to students in grades 5 through 12, with participation encouraged from neighboring dual language programs. George Key Venture School and Venture Academy staff expressed appreciation to the Key Venture PSSO for providing a week of meals, treats, and activities in recognition of Teacher Appreciation Week. George Key students are also looking forward to an upcoming activity day with students from Tuffrey Middle School on May 19th. On May 22nd, George Key will host its annual family barbecue and raffle, sponsored by the PSSO, inviting families and community members to participate in a day of connection and celebration. Recently, Venture Academy students enjoyed a bowling outing and lunch celebration in recognition of their hard work and participation in school fundraising efforts. In addition, George Key and Venture Academy hosted their annual Adult Transition Dance at the Expanded Learning Center with an Aloha Hawaiian Paradise theme. Valencia High School proudly announced that the Den earned the OCSS Student Sections of the Year recognition, highlighting the strong school spirit and support demonstrated by students both on and off the field. The school also celebrated the continued accomplishment of its Cyber Patriot team led by teacher Dwight Osborne. The team recently earned second place during a live fire cybersecurity simulation competition at Coastline College and placed third place in the qualifications round of the Southern California Cyber Cup. Valencia's top Cyber Patriot teams currently rank within the top 15% nationally among more than 5,000 teams. In academics, Valencia High School recognized the dedication and perseverance of students participating in advanced placement testing this month. A total of 489 students are taking AP exams, accounting for 1,929 exams administered, reflecting the school community's strong commitment to academic rigor and college readiness. Yorba Linda High School is concluding an exceptional spring athletics season marked by numerous team accomplishments and a postseason success. The Mustangs celebrated league championship titles in baseball, boys volleyball, softball, and boys track and field, reflecting the strength, dedication, and competitive excellence of the school's athletic programs. In addition, the baseball and softball programs continue their CIF playoff runs this Thursday, with the school community eagerly supporting their pursuit of further postseason success. That concludes my report this evening.
Thank you, Simran. And what you all in the audience don't see is that she's only reading half of her report. So the work that you're doing and compiling all this information, reaching out to the other schools, it's a comprehensive report, and you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
So I have a question for you. What are some of the opportunities that PYL has given you to grow as a student and as a leader?
PUL USD has given me many opportunities to grow both as a student and as a leader. Through challenging classes and supportive teachers, I've improved my communication, critical thinking, and time management skills. I've learned how to push myself academically while also being more confident in my abilities. Outside the classroom, I've had opportunities to participate in clubs, activities, and extracurriculars like newspaper, which has helped me develop leadership skills.
That's great. Thank you, Simran. And can we all give her a round of applause? It's a very great report, and the skills that you're gaining, I mean, it's through school, it's very evident, though your writing skills, your presentation skills, so nice work.
Thank you.
All right. Now it's time for our superintendent's report. Dr. Kim.
Thank you, President Buck, trustees, executive cabinet members. I'm going to apologize now for a little bit of length, but it is May and we've got a lot going on. I'm going to start with some budget information. We know we're waiting for the governor's revised budget this week, hearing about revenues exceeding expectations, lots of advocacy going on in Sacramento, but we're also hearing sort of back channel conversations about one-time monies, and we'll be sharing that with you all in the next week or two. And I'm looking forward to Dr. Papalardo bringing us the proposed budget for the 26-27 school year in June, as we typically do. I also want to thank Dr. Perez and Mr. McGow and all of our secondary principals. They have been working incredibly hard on master scheduling work, really looking at all of our different programming and ensuring that we have master schedules that give kids the opportunities to excel in the programs that matter the most to them. And we'll be doing a considerable amount of work. I'm excited to bring you all on the June 2nd board meeting, the strategic plan. We've been able to share that with all of our leaders and divisions and our principals, and I look forward to engaging with all of you, sharing all of the information that I have from all of our listening sessions, and taking that forward into the direction into 26-27. Teacher classified staff appreciation. At our April board meeting, the board adopted resolutions recognizing May 4th through 8th as California Week of the Teacher and May 17th through the 23rd as Classified School Employee Week. These celebrations provide an opportunity for our district to recognize and thank the dedicated educators and support staff who make a lasting impression on our students each and every day. Across our campuses, students, families, and colleagues are encouraged to take a moment, show appreciation for the incredible individuals who help make PYL-USD such a special place to learn and grow. Community honoree ceremony. As we look ahead on May 18th, we're excited to host our annual community honoree ceremony at the Forum at Yorba Linda High School. Each year, our school sites select community honorees who've gone above and beyond in service to students and schools while exemplifying the district's core values of excellence, integrity, collaboration, and innovation. We look forward to celebrating these outstanding individuals and the meaningful contributions they make on our PYL-USD community. Last week, the Reach Foundation hosted its annual middle school track meet at Nathan Chappelle Memorial Stadium at Yorba Linda High School. Student athletes from across our middle schools competed in a variety of events, including sprints, long-distance running, long jump, and high jump. The event served as a culminating activity of the district's expanded middle school intramural sports programs, which included volleyball, flag football, cross-country, and wrestling throughout the year. We are grateful to our Reach Foundation and all the staff, volunteers, and supporters who help make these opportunities possible for our students. And then finally, I'd like to share tonight's agenda includes a contract for a project manager who's been instrumental in developing our strategic plan. You know, I'm going to start with saying I didn't initially see or predict that that was going to be a need. Having led a smaller school district, previously 8-9 schools, I did that heavy lifting work. And here, with 34 schools being a much larger school district, one of the things I recognized is the complexity of wanting to make sure that all of our different stakeholders got a chance to provide voice in that process. Over the first 6 months, I've been able to get out into every one of our schools multiple times, meet monthly with our associations, conduct listening sessions, and so I've learned a considerable amount about our school district and about the needs where we move forward with our strategic plan. I would say one of the things I've recognized is that over the last 5 years since the pandemic, we've had a considerable amount of turnover in leadership in our district. And we have lots of administrators who are in their first couple of years of administration. So they are still learning. They're learning how to be effective leaders of schools, change, and communities. And what we're facing are things like board policies from the 1980s. In fact, I would tell you that I looked through them today and I found one as old as 1968 was the last time it was looked at and or revised. We have at least a dozen from the 1980s, and many of them are out of alignment with Ed Code and need to be revised. So we have to do a comprehensive overhaul. That's not the most exciting and dynamic work, but it is absolutely essential to provide guidance to our district. Our safety and security work is probably the thing that keeps me up the most at night, really ensuring that our schools are safe. When I think about infrastructure and planning, utilizing my expertise and my background and experience. We need a vision for modernizing safety and security in our district, and that's going to be a heavy lift over the next couple of years. When I think about our strategic plan, we have to take on these and things like building a culture of belonging. Looking at, we have a school and a program that is struggling with identity crisis and needs attention. We have mental health challenges that we need to make sure we provide supports for our kids. And we have achievement gaps for our most at-risk kids. The need for vision and direction around what our schools should be means that we have to lean into High School 2.0 work and building a strong literacy foundation for our primary students. And all while we address class size, making strong fiscal decisions, using the context of the deficit budget we have in addressing declining enrollment. I could add 10 more things to this list, but at the end of the day, I've prioritized my time really based on what I knew our community feedback has been around their hopes and aspirations for the future of PYL. I have committed to building trust, listening, being transparent, and doing what I said I will do. And saying all of that, I will tell you, I have had the greatest 7 months of experience in this community, and I love our staff and our community and the work that we're going to do side by side with one another. This is exciting work. It is just such an awesome group of people to work with, and frankly, hearing from our community over and over and over again about how amazing our educators are and our staff is and how they're committed to PYL. Our students are so hopeful and open to talking about their experiences, and our parents have been supportive. It is so easy to fall in love with this community, and I brought Ellen Mary in to help me build a strategic planning process. And because of her work, I have been able to gather input from over 1,000 people in our community since I got here. We've held 30 in-person sessions, and we've engaged with 350 students to hear their voices about what they aspire to and what they want their education to be. And Ellen Mary has been deeply invested in this work, and she's taken time to learn about our community alongside Laura Lee and myself. But what we're asking for is her support for the first year of our strategic plan. She's going to help our leaders build the skills they need to take on vision and planning and building their capacity, because as many of them are so incredibly committed to this work, many of them are green. And I have a commitment to building their leadership skills. And so I wanted to make sure that I provide context. I am looking to have somebody come alongside me so that I can continue to be fully present in our schools, walking classrooms with our leaders, and meeting with our community to make sure that the work I do aligns to the core values of our organization and of our community. So I thought it was really important to provide you the context of why this person has made such a difference and how we can use their skills to support your policy work, to support safety and security, to support some of our community work that we want to do around strategic planning, and to help our administrators grow into the leaders that they all want to be. So that's my report for this evening. Thank you for the support, and thank you for giving me opportunity to provide that context.
Thank you. That's much appreciated. Okay. So now moving on to public comment. We have 6 public comments. So if you didn't get your card in, this would be the time. Our public comment is an opportunity for the public to provide input to the Board of Education. During the public comment period, board members do not dialogue with speakers or make comments regarding the information shared. And we have 6 speakers tonight, so that will give everybody 3 minutes. And so I'll call the first 3 up: Autumn, Sam, and Jocelyn. And if you'll repeat your name when you get up here, and then the timer will start and you can go ahead. So Autumn, you can start first.
Autumn. Good evening, members of the Placentia-Yorba Unified School District Board. My name is Autumn Simcoe, and I'm a senior at El Dorado High School. I'm here to speak about the lack of accessible after-school opportunities for middle and high school students in our district. While there's many programs for younger children, there are fewer options designed for older students once the school day ends. Many students want places to feel supported, involved, and connected, but those opportunities aren't always easy to access. After-school programs offer more than supervision. They provide academic support, leadership development, creative outlets, and positive relationships with peers and mentors. They can help students feel more connected to their schools and communities while building confidence and motivation. With this, I reached out to Mr. Zides, the principal at El Dorado High School, and he's been very encouraging and supportive of this idea, and I'm hopeful that something like this can be started at El Dorado to provide more opportunities and support for students after school. However, this issue goes beyond just the students at El Dorado. There are both middle and high school students across the district who need support, opportunities, safe places where they can continue learning and growing after the school day ends. I am also currently working on my Girl Scout Gold Award to advocate for safe places for all, along with Lot 318. And I am helping remodel an area that will allow students to further their education and have more space to learn, study, and grow. Seeing the impact that even one supportive environment can have on students has shown me how important these programs truly are. I would also like to encourage the district to consider creating an exploratory committee to look into how a dedicated middle school and high school after-school center would become a reality within our community. My goal for today is to raise awareness about this issue and to encourage stronger partnerships between schools, community organizations, and families so that more opportunities can be created for students throughout our district. I hope we can continue working toward giving all students more spaces where they can learn, grow, and feel supported beyond the classroom. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Autumn. And I'm sure the rest of you received your email with your flyer, so thank you for that.
Good evening, President Buck, trustees, and Superintendent Kim. My name is Sam Maivich, and I'm speaking tonight to urge the PYL-USD to formally assist the California State Joint Legislative Audit Committee's investigation of the Orange County Board of Education. This audit matters to us because county authorization is being used to impose charter schools on local districts over the objections of elected school boards. Taxpayers have a right to know what those imposed charters cost and what they take away from neighborhood schools. Right now in PYL-USD, 2 charter schools occupy part of the Esperanza High School campus. We should be measuring the impact on students, lost space, shifted staffing, and diverted resources. And we still do not have a full public accounting of what last year's fiasco at the Orange County School of Computer Science cost our district in legal fees, staff times, and materials. Here's why the stakes are so high. The current board majority of the county is the product of years of organizing and millions of dollars invested by Mark Bucher and the California Policy Center. Bucher alone gave nearly $150,000 to these 5 members. Charter PACs added about $500,000, and other Republican Party affiliated groups contributed roughly $650,000. The result is an OC Board of Education that prioritizes diverting public dollars into charter schools that are unaccountable to local school districts. This is a breathtaking misuse of taxpayer dollars, and it is precisely why the state audit is underway. Just consider a few examples focused only on legal fees and related expenses. Legal spending reportedly rose from about $50,000 a year to more than $1.3 million in the County Department of Education costs alone. In-house counsel was replaced with a Bay Area-based board attorney billing $400 an hour plus 4.5 hours of travel time per meeting. That is about $3,600 just to get him back and forth to Orange County. That same attorney billed about $19,000 for a Washington, D.C. lobbying trip seeking additional charter subsidies from the federal government and charged taxpayers for an $827 a night luxury suite. Taxpayers were billed $720, moreover, for a water grill dinner, refunded only after public scrutiny. Until recently, Orange County taxpayers paid this attorney around $640,000 annually for what was a very part-time job. Tonight, I'm asking PYL-USD to submit a formal public report to the state auditor, document our direct costs, our staff time, our facility impacts, and our instructional diversions tied to imposed charters and OCBE actions. I've already provided President Buck and Trustee Anderson a separate letter with concrete steps. In the final analysis, this is about building a future that is both sustainable and affordable for our students and our taxpayers. Thank you.
Jocelyn is next, and then after Jocelyn, we have Justin, Allison, and Linda.
Good evening. My name is Jocelyn Williams. My friends, family, and I are grateful to the Coalition of Students from local secondary schools for bringing forward a resolution, Resolution 25-30, that affirms our community's commitment to environmental sustainability. At a time when some leaders still deny human-caused climate change, these students are choosing courage over complacency. Their call for environmental literacy asks us to understand what's happening, why it's happening, and what we can do, starting here in our schools and our community. They also ground this resolution in evidence. Atmospheric carbon dioxide has risen from about 280 parts per million before the Industrial Revolution to roughly 423 parts per million today. And global average temperature has increased about 2 degrees Fahrenheit. That warming is already intensifying droughts, floods, and wildfires, and stressing public health infrastructure and local economies. These are not distant problems. They are costs communities feel now. Because climate change touches every part of society, environmental literacy belongs across the curriculum, from science and engineering to economics, civics, technology, and history. The students acknowledge the seriousness of today's challenges while remaining optimistic. Reducing atmospheric carbon toward 350 parts per million is achievable by decarbonizing electricity, improving energy efficiency, electrifying transportation, restoring ecosystems, and improving soil health. These are not only environmental priorities, they are foundations of the future economy. Teaching students how these solutions work and how to evaluate them prepares them for the jobs and civic leaderships the coming decades will demand. My family and I thank the young leaders of PYL-USD for their courage, commitment, and vision. Programs inspired by this resolution can become a model for other districts and help establish ours as a leader in a meaningful academic innovation. We also thank Trustees Buck, Quintero, and Anderson, and Student Board Member Simran Vaswani for their support. This resolution is about building both a sustainable and affordable future. Thank you.
Good evening. Regarding the issue of boys being allowed in girls' bathroom, what we are witnessing in our schools is not simply a policy debate anymore. It is a gradual normalization, a slow acceptance of something many parents, students, and especially young girls know in their hearts is wrong. The girls who have spoken up have learned something painful. They will be ignored. Fathers who have raised concerns have learned the same lesson, and mothers are now being forced into a position where they tell their daughters to avoid their own restrooms and instead use office or staff bathrooms just to feel safe or comfortable. Carrie, Marilyn, and Tricia, why are the girls expected to adjust? Why are the girls expected to relocate, stay quiet, or simply get used to it? That is not equality. And for many families, the pride flag has become a reminder that the rights of one boy are being placed above the privacy concerns of an entire community of girls. A school's responsibility is to protect the dignity, privacy, and safety of every student. And many families feel that the rights and concerns of an entire community of girls are being pushed aside, while administrators avoid difficult conversations out of fear of controversy. Our young girls should never be made to feel guilty for wanting privacy. So tonight I'm asking this board and this community to stop dismissing these concerns as insignificant. Stop pretending families raising these issues are invisible. And to the fathers and mothers, continue speaking up. Your voice matters. Keep showing up. Keep advocating for your children, because protecting kids should never become controversial.
Is there an Allison? Okay, you're next. Allison, and then Mrs. Cohen.
Hi, I'm Allison Lovey. My husband and I have 2 kids in the district. They go to Travis Ranch, and they're 12 and 14. And I also have a background in child development, and I'm speaking today to encourage our district to enact a policy at the high school level that would reduce phone usage during the school day. It's in the students' best interest to have phone-free socializing during lunch, breaks, and passing periods. In practice, that would mean phones stay in backpacks, lockers, or are powered off or on silent mode, with reasonable exceptions made for instances where it's permissible to use them. We already have a strong, consistently enforced bell-to-bell policy in grades TK through 8. Why not continue this approach in high school or something close to it? Anecdotal reporting from states that have enacted bell-to-bell phone use reduction policies show that more books are being checked out from school libraries and more students are engaging with one another in hallways. Entire countries and 35 states have enacted some form of phone-free school policy. Our state saw the passage of AB 3216 in 2024, known as the Phone Free School Act. The law requires school districts to develop and update policy by July 1st of this year to limit or prohibit the use by its pupils of smartphones while the pupils are at a school site. Another bill, AB 1644, a bipartisan effort which is expected to pass, is working its way right now through the California legislature. AB 1644 goes a step further than the 2024 law, in that it will make a bell-to-bell ban in TK through 8 mandatory for the whole state. And the bill will strongly encourage, this is the exact language it uses, the bill will strongly encourage high schools to adopt a bell-to-bell ban that complies with the K through 8 ban provisions, unquote. The bill was amended in the Education Committee and passed in that committee unanimously. It's now moved on to appropriations. The language of the bill reads in part, in creating and updating these policies, governing board and bodies are strongly encouraged to adopt a bell-to-bell ban on smartphones for all pupils, including the time from the start of the school day until final dismissal, including class, time between class, lunch, and recess. Both of these laws make multiple reasonable exceptions to the phone-free school policy. The law already makes exceptions for health, certain kinds of emergencies, instructional purposes, IEPs, and some of the new exceptions would be exceptions for students with jobs who need to stay in contact with employers and other. Time's up. Thank you.
Recently, the party that controls Sacramento has, on several occasions, taken very proudly stances that are in direct contradiction to U.S. policy, Supreme Court decisions, and the Constitution. This board majority, by your support of biological boys playing in girls' sports, has fallen in line with Sacramento. However, you are under federal investigation for a possible violation of Title IX. Given that, I ask the following question. What is your stance on PYL-USD's physical and mental health policy? Let me be very specific. Federal policy is very clear on gender-affirming care. The DOJ and the Federal Trade Commission are challenging the efficacy of that care. Their investigation has focused on Dr. Joanna Olson Kennedy, the former director of Los Angeles Children's Hospital's now closed gender clinic. Olson Kennedy's recent research on the effectiveness of gender-affirming care in the mental health of children has never been made public. Let that sink in. Never been made public. However, Olson Kennedy was the lead speaker at a Sacramento hearing on April the 6th. Our legislature has allocated $26 million to assure that California children will have access to gender-affirming care. This is a direct contradiction to federal policy. It is, however, in direct alignment with CTA policy that children should have access to gender-affirming care, and I quote that policy, CTA, without the barrier of parent approval. Board majority, in fact, the entire board, are you going to follow Sacramento CTA agenda? I think parents need to know. Finally, I have heard in this room that the Trevor Project has been cited for a source for research on this and other LGBT issues. Please be aware that the Trevor Project research does not meet the most basic standards of scientific research studies. Be also aware that worldwide research has consistently shown that gender-affirming care does more harm than good. Remember Olson Kennedy? We know what that research showed, and that's why it wasn't released. It didn't fit the agenda. And what about all those detransitioners who are now pleading with lawmakers, with parents, and with everyone who will listen, that they made the huge mistake of children? Do not let this happen again.
So I'd like to request that we move the presentation item up before consent so that we can talk about the nutrition services program first, if that's okay with everyone. Perfect. Okay. Would you like to introduce or pass it to?
Thank you, President Buck. I'm going to turn over the agenda to Dr. John Papalardo, who is going to introduce the Nutrition Services Program presentation, and our speaker, Suzanne. Thank you for being here this evening as well.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kim. I'd like to introduce Suzanne Morales, our Director of Nutrition Services, who's going to give us a brief overview of our program.
President Buck, trustees and executive cabinet, Dr. Kim, I want to take the opportunity to say thank you for allowing me to present tonight. I will provide an overview of our nutrition services program, our goals, progress, and the strategic investments that we've made to better serve our students. Our work is centered around 3 key goals. Technology challenge. Our work is centered around 3 key goals: delivering nutritious, appealing meals students want to eat, supporting and developing high-performing workforce through training, and ensuring program sustainability through infrastructure investments. These priorities guide our daily operations and long-term planning. In 2022, federal meal funding returned to pre-pandemic levels, while California became the first to implement universal free meals for all students. This investment helps ensure every student has equal access to nutritious meals because hungry students can't learn. This slide highlights how meal funding works. Federal and state reimbursements combine so nutrition services receives the same meal reimbursement regardless of students' economic status. Currently, reimbursement for lunch is $5.69, and reimbursement for each breakfast served is $3.94. These meal reimbursements support the entire nutrition services operation, including food, packaging, delivery, kitchen equipment maintenance, trucks, fuel, vehicle servicing, labor, benefits, culinary training, administrative, and compliance costs. It's good to note that School Nutrition Fund is completely self-sufficient and relies on no ongoing funds from the general fund. As you can imagine, participation is critical for us. We compare participation to enrollment in this slide. Nutrition Services is proud that our daily participation has been rising over the past 3 years despite declining enrollment. We serve more than 15,000 meals per day. We are proud of to serve more students, but we remain committed to continuous improvement. We regularly analyze participation trends by school site to identify potential barriers to access and participation, ensuring every student has the opportunity to benefit from our nutrition programs. Kitchen infrastructure and training funds. In 2022, California introduced those KIT funds, as we call them, to help districts improve kitchen facilities and train staff to prepare more scratch-made and minimally processed meals to support student health. In 2021 and 2022 funds, using 2022 and 2021 funds, we completed the distribution center located next to the Nutrition Services office at the Casa Loma address. I will say this week we soft launched to support centralized distribution. This new facility will help reduce operating costs, improve inventory control, and allow for more cost-effective purchasing directly from manufacturers and vendors. I'm also excited to share that we applied for the latest round of KIT funds and was just awarded last Thursday an additional $487,000 to continue expanding kitchen improvements and staff training support of healthier house-made meals for students. Supporting minimally processed. We're intentionally moving toward more minimally processed and scratch-made foods to provide healthier, better-tasting meals that students enjoy. Because many elementary schools do not have facilities or health permits for full preparation, our district operates what I like to call a decentralized kitchen. Our hot entrees are made at El Dorado. Our cold production of daily salads and sandwiches are currently at Esperanza, but we're looking to move that production to Yorba Linda High School as we create a bakery at Esperanza High School by installing industrial rotary ovens for scratch-made breads and bakery items. While each of our secondary schools are able to cook on site for their students, the current infrastructure does not allow for 100% scratch cooking. The Valencia kitchen expansion is critical to improving student access and equity while supporting healthier, minimally processed meals. Currently, the kitchen serves approximately 800 students during a single 30-minute lunch, which uses one oven and limited heating equipment, creating capacity challenges after moving from 2 lunches to 1. Expanding the kitchen will increase cooking capacity, improve service speed, and student access to better support scratch cooking and healthier menu options. Due to a very recent USDA facility flexibilities and a strong Fund 13 reserve, we are proposing to the USDA to fully fund this project because it directly supports student nutrition and meal quality. We're hoping for a successful outcome to support the district's needs. We're continuing to expand house-made and scratch cooking menu items across the district. Currently, we use our own gluten-free granola, which was featured at the Shamrock and Run back in March. We have house-made barbecue sauce. We roast our own vegetables, even though we have only one tilt skillet. We do flatbread pizzas at all the high schools. We fresh bake many of our baked goods, and our new high school ramen bar features house-made ramen broth. These meals improve student satisfaction, keep menus current and on trend, and meet strict nutrition standards. We're also developing additional items such as house-made muffins and coffee cake, egg bites, and expanding our roasted vegetable offerings to elementaries to increase student participation and consumption. To support this work, we've launched chef-led cooking training series focused on recipe development, knife skills, and cooking fundamentals for our staff. These trainings strengthen staff skills, build confidence, and improve meal quality district-wide. Engaging students is also a major focus for us. We're striving for student-centered meals. We're building on successful strategies to increase student engagement and participation in schools. We involve students through taste testing at all grade levels, Harvest of the Month featuring local organic produce where students are connecting learning in the classroom with the cafeteria. elementary student chef competitions, and most recently I was able to partner with our Culinary Pathways program to develop a unit where we can teach students federal and state required meal compliance, develop nutritionally adequate recipes, review, price the recipes, prepare their recipes for student-led taste testings on campus, and then ultimately placement on high school menus. When students have a voice in the menu, they are more likely to participate in the meal program. Strategic staffing. Lastly, but certainly just as important, we have made significant investments in staffing and training to strengthen our nutrition services program, including $1.1 million in ongoing funding to increase full-time benefited positions, raise hourly wages to remain competitive, add cook positions at 3 of our high schools to support more scratch cooking. We also expanded professional development opportunities through staff visits to key partners and suppliers, helping staff better understand food production, sourcing, and quality standards. These investments improve meal quality, strengthen staff skills, and support employee morale. We're proud of the progress we've made and the direction we're heading. We invite you to visit Nutrition Services Operation at any time and want to thank you for your continued support to our students and our program. Are there any questions?
I have just one question. This is perfect timing because I have our CNAC, the California Nutrition Advisory Council meeting, coming up prep this week and a meeting in about a week and a half. So I'm looking forward to sharing all of the information that you shared with us tonight. My question is breakfast after the bell. Can you tell me what we're doing on a district-wide level to make sure that kids are able to eat and whatever they need in the morning to get them fed so they can learn?
Mm-hmm. So currently we do breakfast after the bell, and they're considered our nutrition breaks at both our middle and high school locations. Well, all of them, but all of our middle and high school secondary schools. At the elementary site, we currently do not do a second chance breakfast at their break period time. We have one school site who opted to do that. That's Lakeview Elementary, where they do not serve breakfast, however, before the bell. So it's not really second chance, but it's done at the nutrition break recess time.
What kind of feedback are you getting from there? What are you seeing as the number, comparatively, how many kids are eating that with that option?
So the Lakeview Elementary is one of our highest participations in breakfast because children are there on campus. There is good and bad on both sides. I'll be honest. So Lakeview Elementary does see a high participation in breakfast, but the concern can be, do children have enough time to get the wiggles out? Whereas the breakfast before the bell, children are able to come and receive breakfast. We have good feedback from parents because they like to have their students there earlier. However, there's always a group of parents who can't get their students to school early enough for breakfast. So I think it is a challenge either way, whether you do it before the bell or at the nutrition break. I don't know if there's a right answer, but we see both of them here.
Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
My question is on protective time for lunch, especially to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Since my grandkids were living with me, they were kind of skipping lunch and just to play. And I wanted to make sure that we're having protective time so that they can eat and play, so that they don't feel like they can just go play and skip eating and then coming home. Is there something how we're addressing that issue?
So the time to eat has been a long-standing through many of our state superintendents in requiring time to eat. We currently follow the school schedules put together by our principals and our master schedules. In talking with the state about this specific concern, the caution was made that we need to be careful not to time or say they must have 30 minutes of seat time or they must have 20 minutes of seat time, because every school, there is no one size fits all. It is really done by school site. And I think our principals are best equipped to see their staff, I would say their staff, but also their participation to determine what that looks like. That is not determined by nutrition services, but I think it's a thoughtful process as they do master schedules.
I'd like to ask, oh, sorry, were you done, Marilyn?
Yeah, I was just going to say thank you. So go ahead.
You always do a great job, and I think this is one of the things that we do really well here, and I think we can always do more of it. I'm curious about the new development with the USDA. You said you think we're pretty poised to get it.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said we're hoping.
We're hoping. You're
So-
hopeful. There was a word there that I was like, oh, okay.
So the USDA has recently taken on some of the funding and said, we'll give you some additional flexibility. The way that currently, prior to this, and the way it works is that the easiest way to explain Fund 13 is we can buy the furniture, but we can't buy the house. So we can buy the sink, but we can't do the plumbing. Due to the lack of infrastructure in many of our kitchens throughout the U.S. and the goal of the current DGAs, or the Dietary Guidelines for Americans, to eat real food and reduce processing, etc., we've really, as nutrition across the United States, have looked at infrastructure. And many of our infrastructure doesn't allow for that cooking. So the USDA has said, we might give you some flexibility by utilizing Fund 13 to maybe build part of the house. You can still buy the furniture, you can't buy the house. In having that conversation, however, with the state director, I was at a conference about a week or so ago, and having a conversation because we send that to the state then sends it to the USDA for approval. They're not approving a lot right now because the state isn't doing the approvals, the USDA is. But why not try is where I'm at. So what we thought is that if we now have, all of our ducks in a row, if you will, because they will ask for plans, they'll ask for all those, they'll ask for bids, they'll ask for all of those things in order to be able to do that. And so, again, I'm of the position of why not try. Our kit funds, the way they explained our last round of kit funds is said, if you have any kind of fund balance, there's no way you're going to receive new funding. And yet we did. And so I always say, why not try to see if we can fund this to support the district? We have that. Right now, the way that the regulations are, I'm not allowed to just write a check. I have to get approval.
Got it. So it's an approval from
USDA.
Through the state to the USDA.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I guess I was wondering more about timeline. I don't know, John, if you can speak to this at all, but just curious what we can expect. Like, when have they approved anybody yet? Do we know?
I'm not sure they've approved. I just know that they've not approved a lot, but that the flexibilities are out there. That's the information I got from the state director.
Got it. And I'm 100% like, yeah, I'll try, absolutely.
And that's kind of my thought is, why not try?
And I'd just jump in and say that the Valencia Kitchen project is a little over a year. It goes through summer of 27. So at any time during that time, if the USDA comes back and says approved, we have everything, and the food services fund can then fund it. And so we can fund it up front, and then if approved, we can go back and fund it.
I can refund it.
Because it's built into the budget currently.
Correct.
The project, so it would just be a bonus for us to be able
That's
to
my
get
hope.
that.
Yes. And that's just recently within the last 3 to 6
Yeah,
months.
real new. Yeah.
And you said 800 kids at Valencia, and so how is Valencia, can you explain to everyone how Valencia is getting their food now? Because you said that you have these hubs at these other schools, things are getting delivered, so what is Valencia doing now?
So the
in their
difference
kitchen?
right now between Valencia and the other 3 school sites is Valencia Kitchen has one roast and hold, we call it, which warms. We have some warmers, and then additionally we have one double stack oven. The other high schools have anywhere from 4 to 6 double stack ovens, and so capacity wise to be able to cook for the one lunch is there. Prior years, we've had 2 lunches. Last year, we had 2 lunches, and Wednesdays, we had 1 lunch. We saw a 200 meal drop every Wednesday. So we were very concerned with this year on that drop again. We're only feeding about 800. In past years, we've fed closer to 1,200 students, which is about half the population, as you know what enrollment looks like. And the concern we have is that the access isn't there, and we can't cook to the capacity. And so we don't run out of food, but I do have, in my heart of hearts, feel as though students have given up. So
Because it's taking too long
because
to
of the
get-
lines. So we have 10 different points of service on campus, which is more than any other campus, on any other high school campus as well. We need to increase the capacity to cook over there. We do utilize our other high schools to try to move food from a high school to there to support that. We do a lot of outside. We have the Papa John's pizza and those kinds of things that try to support that as well. But this kitchen and the infrastructure of that kitchen will really support Valencia High School. The other 3 kitchens also support the elementaries. That's not the plan really for Valencia. Valencia's kitchen is to cook for Valencia students.
And so I'm going to be that person. With all of the talk about the nutrition and stuff, the ramen noodles, aren't they like completely toxic?
No. So nutrition service, and the reason I say that is because nutrition services is held to a completely different standard. The foods and things that we receive into the kitchens are nothing you can usually buy on the shelf. Our ramen noodles are whole grain, and the ingredient deck is very small. I encourage you to come and check out our ingredient decks at any time for our items.
And
Diet
then
Coke. This is my boss.
And then,
Sorry, I apologize.
no,
Yeah.
and then as far as like the kids' sugar intake, if we're making cookies and desserts and stuff like that, is that something?
So we actually don't make cookies and desserts. Actually, we have taken them off of most, except for one at the May the 4th Be With You. We had a Blue Star cookie. But we do, we don't actually put those sweets and things on our trays because we found with universal meals, children sitting in the lunch area will see the cookie, come and get a complete lunch, take the cookie off and throw the entire lunch away. When we saw that, and that's why you don't see even reduced fat chips, or you don't see those kind of one grab things, because of the fact that children participate because they're hungry or they like our food, not for the treat. So those aren't going on there. What we're looking to do from the bakery items is we will make whole grain muffins. We're doing, we have a lemon bread that we currently make, again with whole grain flour. The reduced sugar, our USDA requirements on sugar intake have decreased and will go into full effect in 2028. We are reduced sodium. We're very restricted on what we can offer students. And again, even our cereals that are, they look like, they are Kellogg cereals. I've actually sat in a room with Kellogg's who said, how can we better support you? And our comment was, make the cereals that we have on our lines, they're good enough for schools, they should be good enough for the shelf. And they said we won't be able to sell them. So you cannot get many of those items, which is why we get feedback from students on, this tastes different. It's because it is different.
Yeah.
Even just maybe to explain, the Papa John's is
Correct.
different.
So Papa John's pizza we do receive from Papa John's. We put our orders in well in advance because they receive whole grain specific dough that is school compliant. It's low fat cheese, low sodium tomato sauce, and low fat pepperoni. And it's a part skim, low fat mozzarella. I will tell you the reason we don't advertise that prevalently is I had an opportunity to advertise on our menu. I thought, let me advertise to parents. So we use a mini turkey corn dog, perfect example. We put mini turkey corn dogs and the kids love them. I did not change the item. What I did is I put low fat, whole grain, mini turkey corn dogs. And the kids, I was out of the schools, these are gross. We want the other ones. I didn't change anything. The parents love them, but I realized, who am I marketing to at the time of? I need to market to the student. So it's that fun balance.
Well, that's good. And I will say that 16-year-old Leandra would be very disappointed in the person sitting here who loved the Taco Bell bean and cheese burritos at my high school. So
We can't have those anymore. Unfortunately, my husband told me the same thing. He always liked the bean and cheese burritos with a soda. Yeah, the chimichangas that were deep fried. So, yes.
yes. So 16-year-old Leandra's appalled right now.
Well, shame on her.
But hey.
Luckily, I just had a question. As in timing at Valencia for the one lunch, are you serving from bell to bell? Like, are there students coming up at the last bell that haven't been served yet?
So it's interesting you say that because we've done some timing studies at many of our schools. And what we do is we kind of step back and pick a student that's at the end of the line and we go, let's see how long it takes that person to get through the line. So students actually pace themselves to a certain degree because they don't get into line until later because the lines are shorter. We're done within 17 minutes on an average. There are days, however, yes, on a very popular day, we may serve bell to bell, but I check on some of those, and our principal over there is very proactive as well, because we have lines on the windows, and we'll divert students to say, hey, this is the same thing, breakfast especially, that the same things. We have windows out near the library. We now have a rolling cart that we opened up. We're looking to open up a second one that has, and we actually increased our meals by 98 on an average. But yes, the lines are long, and we want to be able to mitigate that with additional. This remodel over at Valencia turns our 2 lines into 4, which we can get students through doubly quick when we're finished with the complete remodel. That's the goal.
So I've actually volunteered and served food out of Valencia. It's been a few years, but crazy how fast things go, and the teeny little space, and it's a dance to get through to get food out. If you haven't been, please schedule an appointment to go at lunch. It is amazing to watch all of the different lines all over the place.
It's organized chaos.
It truly is.
It looks
And
like an organized dance.
It
It's
does.
totally choreographed.
And my concern is just going from 1,200 to 800, and this is our school where we typically have our highest number of students that need the food. And so I am happy we're moving forward, and I'm really crossing my fingers too that the USDA will pay it.
Me too.
Pay for it.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything else?
Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you.
Okay, that moves us now to consent calendar. Actions proposed for the consent calendar items are consistent with approved practices for the district and are deemed routine in nature. The trustees received board agenda backup information in advance of the scheduled meeting and are prepared to vote with knowledge on the block vote items. Does anybody have anyone to pull? Wow, we don't have anything to pull. All right.
That was good that she spoke. And I think for 17.7.
Are you
I
going
think
to pull?
for 17.7, I'm not pulling it.
Okay.
I'm glad that she spoke because there's a lot of questions, and then I think people are happy to see that it's like not 6 something, it's now 3, and that there's like some actual explanation as to why the kitchen needs an upgrade, how it's affecting students, things like that. And so I think the better understanding is really key. So thank you for doing that. Appreciate it.
Great. All right. So I'll make a motion for the consent calendar.
Second.
Oh, I didn't mean to make a motion, but I guess
Oh.
I did. I meant I'll take
You
one,
did.
but that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, motion by Mrs. Buck, second by Mr. Frazier. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And we get a 5.50 and a +1 from Simran. Okay, moving on to action items, general functions, and a motion, please, for 22.1.
I'll make a motion to revise board. Yeah, can we do them all together? 22.1 to 22.5 because it's all food.
We can. Does anybody
anybody
want
object?
specifically to talk about?
I have a couple things in a few of them, but we can just do them all.
We can do it all together?
We can do them all together.
All right, I'm going to make the motion for 22.1 to revise board policy 3542 food services first reading, 3542.1 for food services purpose and facilities first reading, 3542.231 competitive food sales first reading, Revised board policy 3542.31, free and reduced price meals, first reading, and revised board policy 3542.4, beverage sales and use, first reading.
Second.
All right. So we have a motion by Mrs. Blade, second by Mr. Frazier. And Dr. Kim, I'll pass it to you to start with our list.
So before I hand this over to Dr. Papalardo, I will just point out, thank you for the efficiency piece. There has been 22 years passed since the last revision on any of these food policies, and the food sales policy, I will point out, is from 1980, before I graduated high school. So most of these are updates to make them current to practice, to names of our departments and things like that. So thank you for taking a look at them, and I will hand it over to Dr. Papalardo to specifically speak to any highlights he'd like to point out.
You hit the nail on the head. We're here to answer any questions.
I don't have a question. It's just, well, I actually do. On the first one, 3542, instead of a director, can we say the director?
Yes.
Okay. And then and then on item 22.3, 3542.231, it talks about adult organizations. And I was like, what are we doing with adult organizations? It's on the, let's see, is this the right one? 22, competitive food sales. And it's on, let's see, I'll tell you what paragraph it's in. It's in the very last paragraph where we authorize and for competitive, where vending machines are sponsored by the district or student or adult organization. Like what are we talking about?
I see where you're going with that.
Yeah, so vending machines are an interesting creation that districts have been had for many years, and so school districts will have vending machines on campus that are locked during the day and open afterwards. They can be run by the district, by ASB. Some districts have gone ahead and contracted them out, or had had booster groups or PTA groups run them to make the money. There's been districts where their vending machines made in excess of $1 million a year. So it's sort of a generic, state policy. So it allows the whole gamut of running these.
And in some of the teachers' lounge, they have the vending machine. So is that?
No.
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 I'm like, because
it does have soda.
Yes.
Because we have the one, it says it's sponsored by the district or the student, and then it says adult organizations. Would that be like a nonprofit?
PTA? Mm-hmm.
Could we exchange instead of adult
Absolutely.
organizations?
I see where you're going.
Or outside organizations or nonprofit. It just
Adults versus children. Yes, I understand.
it just
Okay. We can make that change.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so there.
Okay, and then let's see. In 2342.31, in the very first paragraph, it talks about at the last sentence, the confidentiality of students' information will be upheld when there has been application. Can we put an application?
Mm-hmm.
I think it reads easier. And that was it out of all of them. Of
Thank
those.
you.
That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
I hope her mind is easy.
My sister would do the same thing. She would correct all of the grammar.
For second reading? Yeah.
Okay, great.
I think, could we just waive the second
for second.
No, we should bring it back still.
Put them in consent. Put them in consent for second reading.
I don't know if we can. I think we have to do board policy in
Really?
action.
Find out. Find out.
Okay,
Kim.
so let's take a vote, so at least we get through first reading.
Where are we voting?
Yes.
Yeah. First reading?
For
Yeah,
first
we're
reading.
voting first reading on these 5.
Okay.
And we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
4. First 4.
All those. 1, 2, 3, 4,
5.
5.
Oh. Give it to-
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
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 And opposed? Motion carries 5-0 plus 1. No comments on the school food, Simran, or?
I don't really have a lot of comments. I mean, I'm at Parkview, so I eat lunch at home, but
So the food for lunch is good.
Are you
better
having
say the food for
low
lunch is good.
sugar?
I mean, I was at Yorba Linda High School for freshman year, and I didn't really eat lunch there, but the pizza was good, even though it was healthy. I couldn't tell, so.
There you go. Awesome. Okay. All right, so I'll move us next to our student use of technology first of reading. Could I
I'll
get a
make
motion?
a motion that we revise board policy 6163.4, student use of technology, first reading.
I'll second. Is it possible to pull this up? My thing's not opening at all. Like to put it on the screen? I don't know why. I can't open my details.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. While Jeremy works on that, Dr. Kim will pass to you.
Thank you.
From our description, this is a replacement rather than revising. We have a handful of different policies that are all bits and pieces, and this is a more comprehensive look at the policy. So I'll hand it over to Dr. Papalardo and Jeremy Powell if they have comments and or additional context that they'd like to provide.
Questions?
No, I got it right there. Now. But Todd's my witness that I can't open it.
Totally.
We've rebooted.
I told her not to throw the iPad.
Or we have the first reading now, so I have to wait till the next board meeting.
So the only context really to add, President Buck, members of the board, Dr. Kim, and Executive Cabinet, is this is really bringing this set of policies up to date with regards to artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, sharing of personally identifiable information, and cyberbullying.
Anybody questions, comments? All right, seeing none, we'll take a vote for our first reading. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries 5-0 plus 1. Okay, motion for 22.7, please.
I'll make a motion to adopt the revised board policy 5114.2, suspension and expulsion due process, second reading.
I'll second.
Okay, Dr. Kim, any comments?
This is the second reading. You guys had a robust conversation. We gave you the context last time, so if you have any questions, certainly Ms. Gray and I can lean into that. Dr. Pedraza also helped with this policy, but given that it's a second reading, I'm going to just leave the floor open to you all.
Anyone?
I was just going to say thanks for bolding it. It made it a lot simpler to read. So thank you.
Okay, seeing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries 5-0 and an aye from our student board member. 22.8.
I'll make a motion to adopt revised board policy 6163.2, animals at schools, second reading.
Second.
Another fun one. We have a first and a second for this great policy. I'm looking forward to Dr.
I'll just ask you to approve it because if you notice, Esperanza's already got therapy puppies coming, so they need you guys to approve this tonight.
Puppies?
I know. I want to go so bad.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
And motion carries 5-0 with an aye from Simran. Okay, 22.9, please.
Make a motion to adopt revised board policy 5141.52, suicide prevention, first reading.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Dr. Kim?
This one I will hand over to Ms. Gray to provide context. I know there are some changes within this policy, and her team really did do the heavy lifting on that.
Thank you. So as you know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's really timely that we're bringing this board policy forward because it's a very important update. So as you know, mental health and student wellness is a major priority in our schools, and our responsibility is not only academic success, but it's also students feeling safe, connected, and supported and cared for. So tonight's first reading is for board policy 5141.52 on suicide prevention, and these revisions align with updated legislation. They strengthen the district's comprehensive K-12 approach to prevention, intervention, support, and Dr. Pedraza will review the key updates to help us strengthen a proactive and interconnected safety net for our students. So Dr. Pedraza.
Thank you, Ms. Gray. Good evening, President Buck, trustee members, our student board representative, Superintendent Dr. Kim, and Executive Cabinet. Tonight we bring forward for a first reading the revised board policy 5141.52 related to suicide prevention. So these updates reflect both evolving legal requirements and our district's continued commitment to student wellness, safety, and early intervention. The revised policy strengthens our comprehensive K-12 approach to suicide prevention, intervention, and postvention. Some of the major updates include policy expansion around collaboration and coordination efforts by formally recognizing the role of school mental health professionals, parents, community agencies, suicide prevention experts, law enforcement, and legal counsel in supporting prevention and response efforts. Our revisions also broaden training expectations to ensure that all adults who regularly interact with students receive training on recognizing warning signs, understanding risk factors, and knowing how to respond appropriately. The policy also places stronger emphasis on prevention and resilience by supporting instruction and practices that promote coping skills, problem solving, help-seeking behaviors, student connectedness, and positive school climate initiatives. Our revisions also look to strengthen family engagement by ensuring parents and caregivers receive information regarding warning signs, available resources, and ways to support students experiencing emotional distress or mental health concerns. Another important enhancement is the establishment of district and school site crisis intervention teams to support implementation of suicide prevention practices, overseeing training and resources, and strengthening the collaboration with community mental health organizations. Updated policy also emphasizes regular monitoring and follow-up for high-risk students and ongoing review of district data related to school climate and suicidal ideation trends to help guide continuous improvement efforts. The policy ensures continued compliance with education code requirements, including periodic board review of the policy at least every 5 years and maintaining accessible suicide prevention resources on district and school websites. Overall, these revisions help strengthen our district's safety net for students by reinforcing prevention, increasing awareness and training, improving coordination and intervention practices, and fostering a school environment where mental health and student well-being remain a shared responsibility. Thank you.
Questions? I just have a question about the crisis intervention team. So I thought that we had already a crisis team, and so could you talk a little bit about what we have in place and how we're going to expand it or establish?
Yes, sure. We do have a crisis counselor here at the district level who's helped coordinate efforts in any response efforts. Along with that, we also have a schedule of other mental health professionals, given the circumstances in any situation that we need to deploy more than a couple people to help and support given those circumstances. So we have a calendar and our mental health professionals that are assigned in the event of a crisis. I'll just say in any given week, we know that these people will be deployed in the event of a need at a school site.
I just would like to add that we also have, which is coming down from the state and also at the county level, mental health first aid training, and our crisis counselor is trained in that, and she's also working on training other members of our team on mental health first aid.
Yeah. So mental health first aid will be available for non-mental health professionals to help recognize those signs as well.
So what will a crisis intervention team, are we expanding? What would that look like versus what we're doing currently?
The team won't necessarily expand, but we're expanding the awareness and the education for others to help recognize, signs of students in distress and what to do, how to help and guide them to support. So those will be some of the things that we're going to get out of our training and support for our other staff.
And then to follow up with Mrs. Buck's questions, our number 5 in here, it's protocols for addressing suicide threats and attempts. Is that, do we have that already? Or are we expanding that? Is it assessing and post and the whole thing?
Yes, all of
All
those.
of the above?
All of the above, yes. We do have a suicide risk screener that we use, evidence-based protocol, which is called the Columbia Scale. We use. All of our mental health professionals have been trained in that. All of our administrators have been trained as well too. And that's also as part of the greater training that we did, if you remember, on CSTAG, Comprehensive School Threat Assessment Guidelines, that included both processes and procedures for threats to self and threats to others as well.
Thank you.
Sure.
I just want to say thank you for doing that work and updating that. I think it's such an important piece of our students' everyday life, unfortunately, that a lot of students need the support. And I mean, it goes all the way down to elementary school. Yes. And that's, I was at a school for a visit, and they had 2 students that they were kind of monitoring at the time. And so, I mean, it's not just high school or middle school, it goes all the way to elementary. So that's a great thing to have there for them.
Yes, and we're collecting data on that as well too, to kind of see where those trends are. So appreciate you bringing that up.
All right, seeing no other questions, we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries 5-0 and +1. And our last item.
I'll make a motion to award RFP number 226-05 Architectural Consulting Services for the development of a facilities master plan.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion second. Dr. Kim.
I'm excited about this work. It dovetails beautifully with our strategic plan as we think about how we work toward the future for our district, supporting our community and certainly giving our kids the environments that they need to live and thrive in as they learn and grow. And so I know that this is a huge comprehensive piece, but I'm really excited about us getting started into this process. So I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Papalardo.
Thank you very much. So tonight we're just going to really quickly talk about facilities master plan. Why the facilities master plan now? Prop 2 was passed in November of 2024, a $10 billion state bond. In that, it has a requirement that if you want to access any of that money for new construction or modernization, you shall have a 5-year school facilities master plan that you submit with your applications in order to be eligible. As we know, we have an aging school district facilities. We have not had a facilities master plan in over 25 years in this district, so it is time. And as we look at the needs, we're really looking at all of the needs, from infrastructure, security. We know that on safety and security, there's a lot has changed over the last 25 to 50 years when our schools were built. So we'll be looking at safety and security, the infrastructure. We'll be looking at the portable buildings that we have, the portables throughout our district, the asphalt, the plumbing and the electrical systems, the roofing system. So it's going to be a comprehensive facilities master plan. As we look at what we envision as the timing, we're looking to start collecting data this summer, looking at educational specifications for our, we know that our kindergartners are going to be living into the 22nd century. Since we're over 25% of the way through the 21st century, it's almost old news now. Our facilities assessment, looking at July to October, a community outreach piece in the fall when we come back, September through basically April during most of the time that we're doing this, some preliminary cost estimates. We're looking to come back to the board at the end of next year in May, June of 2027 to present. We will have presentations in the interim talking about what we're doing, but with this we went out for an RFP process. We had 4 firms that we received comprehensive facility master plan responses from. We interviewed them. We did have also 3 maintenance and operation facilities directors from surrounding districts that sat on that interview panel as well. The number 1 candidate that we are recommending is LPA Design. They've conducted over 150 facilities master plans, 30 years experience in California. And so representatives from LPA are in the back with our maintenance operation facilities director, Ralph Figueroa. Thank you all for being here, and we're very excited to get this work underway. As Dr. Kim said, it really dovetails nicely into the strategic plan as we look at that next month, and you'll see how really our systems, our facilities, modernized facilities, is just really something integral for our students, our staff, and our community. I could talk a lot about this all night, but I'll stop here since it's late. Oh, it's only 8:35. I can talk another 25 minutes. Yes, ma'am.
Anybody have questions?
I was just wondering what the community outreach piece was going to look like. Is it going to be like our study sessions where we get input from what the community thinks we need updated, or?
Yes, the community outreach piece is really, we look at it by school site, because the architect will be working with each of our school site principals, who will be putting together a team at the site, including staff, teachers, parents. We'll have a facilities master plan steering committee, which we envision between 35 and 40 members from throughout the community that will get regular updates and meet regularly through this process. Our goal is to get to every facet of this community.
As I've worked on them, typically, it's a great opportunity for the school to really talk about, like, what's working, what's not, what needs to be fixed, what aren't we seeing, and to engage with the firm and the committee to really gain an understanding, because the more input we get, the more comprehensive we bring as far as, let's take a look at this. And it'll be big, it'll have a big price tag, but it'll give us a place to start to figure out how do we support our schools into the future.
So things is like, if a parent has a concern about like a pickup line or the way a driveway is placed.
Absolutely.
would
Boy,
all
that
be-
is one of the big things, as I've been to 29 of the 34 schools now, almost done. Pick up and drop off. We talk about nutrition services. Suzanne's waving in the back, and lines, and how we provide services to students. So it is comprehensive.
And this will be like security and
Apps.
safety, because I think that, I don't want to say this out loud, but or I'm going to. We're lacking.
Safety and
that area.
security in 2026 is paramount, and I will say that we are lacking, that we are behind the times. I said it's been over 25 years since we had a facilities master plan, so it really is time to look at this and do a comprehensive review and get the plan together, because until you have a plan, you really can't do much.
And we can't even ask for funds until we get this completed.
We can't even ask for funds from the state, matching funds for modernization and new construction. Correct.
It's a necessity.
Is there a deadline and when we can apply for those funds?
Well, here's what happens on state funds is the line starts getting long, and the funds will go, and then there'll be a new bond, and the state has run bonds every 4 to 5 years. When they run out of money, then they go back to the state state starts talking about it again. So there's always a line. There's almost always funds. Sometimes there's a delay, a couple year delay, but we continue with our funding and then the matching funds come.
So our timeline matches it, though. We should be able to get this done without missing out on this round. Hopefully.
I'm looking back at the LPA people. I've lost track of how long the line currently is on. Come on up and introduce yourself and let's join the discussion.
While he's moving up there, one of the contexts for me that I just have in the back of my head is, given what all we've gotten from multiple sources from the state of California around where the economy has gone, what has been projected versus where we are with revenue, and the discussions of one-time funds. One-time funds can often be so very problematic for school districts because so much of what we do is people. But one place where there is the potential for helping is when you're looking at things like this. So I'm hopeful that maybe that could actually be of benefit to us. But again, I'm projecting in terms of what I would do logically, and we'll see if, it's out in the atmosphere.
Good evening, President Buck, members of the board. My name is Rick Musto with LPA. I'm a managing director, and Jimmy Lau is our planning director, is here as well. In terms of the state funding, I think most of the modernization funding that was approved in 2024, most of that's spoken for, but the district or the OPSC, they continue to take applications, so they can hold those applications, and then once another bond is passed at the state level, then they backfill that, and depending where you are in line, they'll fund that need. You can get in line without this approved Prop 2 master plan. You won't be able to get funded without an approved and board adopted, but it won't prohibit you from getting in line. Let's say you were ready today or tomorrow, like your food service project, if that was eligible for funding, you could put that application together, get in line, but you'd have to get the master plan in place, board adopted, prior to actually getting that funded. So I think you have plenty of time. You're actually doing this at the right time now. You got a lot of time between now and when that might happen. So
My only question is, are we looking at any predictions of enrollment as we're going through this process?
Absolutely. So part of a comprehensive facility master plan is to look at the 7 to 10 year window on enrollment projections and to have that as part of the master planning process. Where is the highest need? Where are the students going to be? What does the enrollment of that school look like in 3 to 5 years? So all of that's taken into consideration.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
With that, we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Motion carries 5-0 and an aye from our student board member. Thank you. And thank you for being here to answer a few extra questions. Okay, that brings us to board report. And Todd, I'll pass to you.
Perfect. Mine will be short. It was another great tax season, so I worked all the way up until April 15th, and then I left the country for 2 weeks, and it was fantastic. But I love being back in the good old US of A. I'm excited for graduation season coming up. Signed up for as many of those as I can attend, and my twins are graduating, so it's going to be a busy next couple of weeks, and we got a board meeting. So thank you for two board meetings. All right, here we go, guys. It's going to be great, though. It's fantastic.
It's going to be fabulous. You get to celebrate Carrie's birthday on the first June board meeting and mine on the second. We're going to have a grand old time.
Hey, as long as we have cake.
We'll have cake.
All right, we'll have
make
cake.
sure we have cake.
All right.
But don't tell Suzanne.
It's going to be whole grain, low sugar, reduced fat, no icing. That'd be great. That'd be fantastic. Somebody call Beverly's Best. All right. Thank you.
Your old Leandra's going to make the cake.
Mine's also very short. Myself and Trisha, we attended the Yorba Linda Women's Club, the art scholarship deal this last week. And I'm always amazed. I was actually art student of the year, and I never understood how I got it. I think the art teacher just like said thanks for trying. But yeah, maybe too much sugar. But I'm always just mesmerized by these kids and how talented they are. So that's always a fun thing to attend. It is Police Week, according to my Instagram. So thank you guys for always being here at our board meetings, and thanks to all of our SROs. And another thing too, we talked to Dr. Kim, I think it was, I don't know if this Monday or the past Monday, but I did get a phone call from City Council from Yorba Linda, and we talked a little bit about they wanted the need for the every 15 minutes to come back, and then also some e-bike stuff. And one of the things we did talk about was with every 15 minutes program, if it doesn't go over to the city and it does able to stay at Yorba Linda High School, there was a talk about, hey, can parents just opt in or opt out? It was one of those, solutions. And so they're looking for, I think, conversation. And so I said I would bring it up to the whole board because tonight, just so people, and, they brought up at city council. So then, of course, the community, I feel like I'm on speed dial sometimes with many. So that was something that I said, when we're on the phone with some people, we said, well, can you have to opt in, opt out if a parent doesn't feel comfortable or they think it's not going to be a good thing for their kid, but another parent feels that it would be very helpful for their kid. So I said I would bring that up. And then as far as the e-bikes go, that was another thing. Todd and I totally were talking about the understanding about the city's willing to do an e-bike, basically like a safety certification course, register the bikes, the parents attend. Right before this board meeting, it went up on, I think it was Facebook, pictures of kids at one of our school sites. Somebody said this kid was almost killed, and such happened. And so I do think that if the city is willing to pay for the certification of the bikes and safety classes, for the student and the parents, I do think that's good. I understand that we do not have the personnel to be checking registration of every single bike. But however, I did bring it up to one of the city council members, the mayor, that perhaps there's a tag that city council can issue once the classes are done. And so this certain tag that's on the bike can go onto our school property, so we don't have to have tons of people checking tags on bikes and stuff. It's just right there, it's prominent. And the e-bike can go onto school property if that's something that everyone's passionate about. Because, just in the past week or so, the e-bike thing has kind of exploded. We have parents in court. So I do think we do need to work on something like that. But, and I do think that there is an understanding that we do not have the personnel to be checking registration on e-bikes. But if there's something that the city can provide us, and maybe this will also release liability from the school district, I don't know. So that was the discussion I've had this week. And like I said, graduation season is upon us. And congratulations to all our graduates, and lots of board meetings and lots of fun times. And if you really want me to bake a cake, I still do bake quite often. I just have a couple bites now. It's 16-year-old Leandra would have eaten the entire cake. So, but yeah, so looking forward to the next few weeks, and congratulations to all our graduates.
Good evening, everybody. Since our last board meeting, I was able to attend the strategic planning at Valadez Middle School, and to sit there and listen to the conversations happening with the families that were out. And there was some really great feedback from the community. And so I just wanted to thank all the families for coming out and participating. And also a big thanks to the staff that was there to facilitate it and to make things happen. It was just a really great night. I also attended the North Orange County ROP Celebration of Success Award Ceremony, and it was a great night, recognizing students throughout North Orange County ROP. And I got to go be with my friend's daughter, who was nominated for a scholarship that night. And I got to see many of our students throughout our district recognized, earning scholarships and winning, being finalists. And huge shout out to our Esperanza ROP Student of the Year, June Marie Brenner. I'm going to butcher her last name, Rick. Yeah, June Marie, she was great. And then I participated in La Placentia. We had over 600 volunteers out there at our 34 different sites, and we were able to make a huge difference throughout the city of Placentia. And thank you to everybody who came out and volunteered and served. I saw the Dare to Dream musical that was performed by the students at Rio Vista. The sets, costume, acting, singing were so amazing, and I didn't realize that they've been working on this play for 7 months. That's so incredible, and many thanks to Mr. Diaz. This was his 14th year directing the musical there, and to Mrs. Williams, who was his assistant director, and to the many, many parents who made this production a reality. And it's just so fun to see our students shine and stretch themselves into situations that they would normally, I think, be offered. I attended the Wellness Summit on Friday night at Valadez, and that night was full of tons of resources and classes, and I'm grateful to our many community partners that were there, who came out with resources such as medical health support, CPR, dental, drowning risk, legal, and also for the classes that night, including digital safety, compassionate approach to youth mental health, Foster Youth 101 for caregivers and students, and I learned a lot about that one, and also Signs of Suicide, which ties into a lot of what we're doing. And dinner was provided. It was very delicious. And again, thank you to everybody that put that together. I know it's a lot of work to coordinate that many people and to put an event together that is meaningful and helpful to our community. Last night I attended the PTA PYL Council honorary service night and installation event, and it was great to recognize some honorees for their dedication through our district, and also to install our next year's council team. So looks like we're going to be in great hands. And I too, at the summit, had a great conversation with a sergeant from Placentia PD about e-bikes, and I learned a lot. And so I think this is something that needs to be discussed throughout our district. Cities are passing ordinances. Placentia's had their first read of their ordinance. Yorba Linda's passed theirs. Fullerton and Anaheim, they're currently in the process with Placentia. Brea passed theirs a year ago. So, and we serve all these communities, and all these people come together. And so I think it's something that we really need to look at all the different ordinances and see how we can best support our students through education. Because I think that's our key. That's what we do well in our district. And we'll leave the enforcement up to the police departments and focus on educating. And that concludes my report.
A quick context, since both you and Ms. Blades mentioned e-bikes, one of the things we have worked in partnership with both of our municipalities is that we're going to give them time in our PE classes during the last 2 weeks of school to be able to conduct the training and the classes that they've designed in order to have, in a sense, all of our middle school students and potentially even underclassmen at high school receive that training before they go into summer. So we're hoping that will be helpful as well.
Excellent.
Yes, thank you for that. I was actually going to bring that up as well, because I know there are many ways that we could help and work with our community partners to get that in place, and it's very important. So thank you. This month provided many opportunities to engage with our schools, students, families, and community partners in the district. One of the highlights of the month was attending the spectacular Prism Choir concert at El Dorado High School. The students delivered an outstanding performance that showcased all their musical talents and dedication and excellence, and really showed off our performing arts programs, the quality of programs that we do have in our district. I was also honored to attend the Distinguished School Banquet, recognizing Tuffrey Middle School. The recognition reflects the tremendous work of the staff, students, and families who contribute daily to the school's success. During school visits this month, I had the opportunity to visit Sierra Vista Elementary School, where I observed excellent teaching practices, a strong sense of community, and tremendous parent support. It was inspiring to see such a positive engagement throughout the campus. I also visited Lakeview Elementary School, where I was able to observe classroom instruction in action and learn more about the preschool programs. It was wonderful to see the care and commitment being invested in all of our learners. Another meaningful experience was attending the strategic planning session at Tuffrey Middle School. I agree, it was great to hear from all the parents and that participated, and it was really encouraging to hear their thoughtful feedback, ideas, and what they were proud of most about our district, and also what the things that they thought we needed to be improved. So I love their honesty and that they were open with us about the positives and the negatives. Their voices and partnership continue to be an important part of our ongoing work. I was also fortunate to visit the new temple in Yorba Linda that was open. The facility was beautiful and undoubtedly will serve as a valuable addition to our community. This month, I also attended the Cinco de Mayo Festival at Esperanza High School. It was a wonderful evening celebrating our retirees. They even had a piñata that they had there that they were hitting, and they opened as part of their celebration. The spirit of the community coming together was really beautiful to see. And thanks to our Esperanza culinary program for the delicious dinner. That was great to see as well. And believe it was a fundraiser, so it was great for them to be able to raise that money. I also attended Senior Scholarship Night hosted by the Yorba Linda Women's Club, as Mrs. Blades spoke of earlier. It was amazing to see the accomplishments of our students, and thank them for their support, Yorba Linda Women's Club, for their support of our students with scholarships and teacher grants, and the acknowledgement that they have with our students. It was really great to see how proud they were and to see the families there as well. I attended the Honorary Service Award Mixer last night as well with Marilyn. And I was happy to see former PTA colleagues that I had worked with, and it was always great to see them. And really, every year I'm just grateful for all the inspired and incredible volunteerism that they all demonstrate. Hearing about the countless activities, programs, field trips that they organize for students was really remarkable, and their dedication continues to make a lasting impact at all our schools. I also did attend Dare to Dream by Rio Vista. It was great. Marilyn and I enjoyed that together. It was a great day. It was really great to end the day because it was Love Placentia Day. And so being at Love Placentia and seeing the community there and all the help and everybody willing to volunteer to make our community better, and then topping it all out that night with the Dare to Dream musical and seeing all the little ones participating and singing their little hearts out. And it was amazing to see the hard work that they did. So again, yes, thank you, Mr. Diaz and Ms. Williams, for providing that to our community, and I can't wait to see what they come up with next. So just wanted to say thank you very much, and I hope everybody has a wonderful May, and looking forward to all the activities coming up with this graduation year and celebrations that come up with our seniors. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Tricia. I'll just briefly go through a few things I've done this month. I attended the Avid Senior Standout at UCI, where they students from each of our high schools were awarded with Senior Standout. So congratulations to Isaac, Aaliyah, Bella, and Braylene. And I'm looking forward to the middle school standout this week at Angel Stadium to see all of our middle school students. And I just wanted to point out that for work, I participated in and held a screening with in partnership with PBS Studios, and the documentary that we screened is called Possible Selves, and I mention it because it talks about foster youth and their experience. So if you work with foster youth, I highly recommend, you can just Google search it for PBS. It's called Possible Selves, but tells about the pathway and the life that a foster youth goes through. I participated in Love Plus with one of our students, Micah from Valadez, or not, sorry, not Valadez, from Valencia High School, and spent the day doing landscaping with him. So thank you for spending some time with me, Micah, and sharing your skills. I attended the strategic visioning with Dr. Kim and Dr. Perez and the rest of the team at Tynes, and really enjoyed hearing from parents and what their concerns were and their interests and things that they wanted to see in school. I did attend or visit a few schools over the past month, Wagner with Kylene Finema, and my highlight of that visit was seeing the preschool kids on the playground. It was absolutely adorable. They were having their circle time, but their circle time was outside, and one of the circle times was dancing to music, and there were two little boys in the back that had choreographed or were choreographing together this little dance that they were doing. Is absolutely adorable. I also visited Tynes with Dr. Krista Borges and got to help with or watch all the kids come in for morning awards and give them their certificates. That was very cute. Van Buren with David Camarado. The highlight of that morning was the transitional kindergarten class and seeing all of what the kids were doing. And then Golden was my last one with Kristen McDonald, getting to see Jenna Rassick, who is our teacher of the year and also a former teacher of my own daughter. It was fun to go and visit them as well. And last, Morse with Kelly Farrell, and got to see all of the work that they're doing in AVID, and we hope that they'll have some AVID recognition coming soon. Couple of other things. I attended the Celebration of Success. It was really nice to see you there, Marilyn, and recognizing Lily and June Marie. And then you sent me a video yesterday of Fernando Nunez and his National PTA Artworks Win video talking about his experience as a student with special needs and interviews with the teachers in our district that influenced and impacted him. It was amazing, and I'm sure it will be out in some sort of our communications soon. Upcoming, I mentioned earlier, the California Nutrition Advisory Council prep is this week, and our next meeting coming up, so I'm excited to share again about the nutrition services things that we're doing. And then delegate assembly, I leave on Friday for that. And then today I came into the dais and found a little packet of all of our Venture Academy certificates that I assigned for them that are going to be receiving that on June 3rd. So I'm looking forward to all of the beginnings of it. Luckily, I don't have to sign every graduation, every certificate and diploma, but it was really fun to sign there. So I'm looking forward to seeing them in person. And that's it for me. So with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0 and 1+ for Simran.